In the following video, I will explain how you can add an invoice to the TristanSoft platform. First of all, you need to select the legal entity to which the invoice is addressed. The project and fund will then automatically select. However, please double-check this pre-selection because some entities might be part of multiple projects, and therefore the pre-selected project might not be the right one. The invoice type is set to corporate or office. Please always select corporate and only use office for Tristan's internal office expenses. The internal ID is a unique ID for this invoice and will help you find this specific invoice later on if need be. The service provider field lets you determine which company or service provider has issued the invoice. Please always check if the required company is already in the list, and if possible, also check for any misspellings. If the company you need is not yet in the list, please add it. Please bear in mind that we must avoid double entries. The invoice number field lets you input the invoice number that was fixed by the service provider on the invoice. The nature of the invoice is linked to the internal budget, Tristan's internal departments and responsibilities. The choice of the invoice nature is crucial. Should you have any hesitations, please ask the cash management team. It is important to make the right selection because the selection will have a direct impact on this invoice's approval and budget classification. If, for example, you select CapEx as the invoice's nature, the people responsible for pre-approval, approval, and accounting will be pre-selected in the fields below. TristanSoft makes this pre-selection based on people's responsibilities within the project. It is important that the nature you select is correct because it will impact the workflow. Once you save the invoice, it will be transmitted to the people in charge at Tristan for pre-approval, and once they approve the invoice, it will be transmitted to the people in charge at Tristan for final approval. Once these steps are completed, the invoice will be automatically forwarded to the accountants. You can manually modify these selections and adjust them, but please only do so if you are certain of the changes you make. Please note that the number of people selected for each step should remain small. The more people you select, the more people will receive this invoice as a task, and our goal is to only get the invoice to those people that are indeed in charge of the matter. Please also note that if no pre-selection is made for a certain field, you are kindly asked to let a cash manager know so that the settings can be adjusted. You can also add a comment to the invoice and even make it visible only for a selected group of people. Once you are done, you can save the invoice and either keep it on hold or save it and add another invoice. If you keep it on hold, the workflow will be paused. The invoice will be added, but will be visible only to cash managers. It will not be forwarded for approval or payment until you remove the On Hold status. Should you have any further questions, please have a look at our other videos or simply get in touch with us via email. We would also like to mention that we strive to make this a great tool for everybody involved. Therefore, we are always happy to hear from you should you have any suggestions. We're looking forward to receiving your feedback.